It really all started as an idea. What if we, in the dead of winter here in Europe, took a journey along the northernmost train route in Eurail's Pass network?
We really wanted to show people that it's possible to take the train all the way to the Arctic Circle to see the Northern Lights. It sounds crazy, but you can really do it.
Once we started thinking about the auroras, we knew we had to make the trip north.
It was going to be a long journey from our office in Utrecht all the way to Abisko in the Arctic Circle. It's one of the best places to see auroras, mostly because of the climate and the lack of light pollution.
It's just amazing that you can get to such a remote part of Europe entirely by train.
Sharing this adventure, it's about bringing our community along for the ride.
We really wanted to embrace slow travel and train travel and just experience life along the way.
We decided to spend a day in Stockholm to break up our trip and loved checking out the city's colorful metro stations and a few really unique independent cafes that were recommended to us by some locals that we met along the way.
One curious feeling of sleeping on night trains is the sensation of entering a portal and awaking in just a completely different destination without even realizing it.
So we arrived in Abisko National Park around mid-morning. That's 200 kilometers into the Arctic Circle. Our Northern Lights expedition was scheduled for later that night. That gave us a couple of hours to explore the national park. We went for a short hike through a forest. It was very beautiful. We reached the lake that you can see from the hostel.
We're getting a little worried as the day went on. The nighttime forecast seemed to get worse.
The forecast kept on showing tons of clouds, which can make it really impossible to see the Northern Lights.
Oh, it's here. Oh, there you go. Thanks.
After dinner, we met our guide and we took a bus to a frozen lake. To stay warm, we made a campfire and we had some lingonberry tea.
So don't worry. What you do is you just burn one and
Honestly, it was still pretty cloudy, but I started to feel like, even if we didn't get to see the auroras, I would still look back on this experience and smile. I mean, it's not every day you get to drink tea on a frozen lake above the Arctic Circle. After more and more waiting, all of a sudden our guide just shouted for us to look to the northeast. It's really amazing seeing them in person and so cool to see what your camera can capture.
Seeing the Northern Lights really made that dream come true, and it was definitely one of the best memories that I created.
To see auroras in person, I think it's something that everyone dreams about. When you actually get to do it, it is something really special.
For me, it just really opened my mind to what you can do and experience by riding the train in Europe.
On the way home from Abisko, we stopped in Kiruna, so still in the Arctic Circle. It is Sweden's northernmost city. We heard that they were holding a snow festival and we just had to check it out. When we arrived, things didn't really go as planned though. I think in Europe, when you arrive at a train station, you expect metros and buses that will take you to your hotel, or maybe you can even walk. But here we arrived in the middle of a snowstorm, so there was no bus for us and we just had to figure it out.
We walked uphill and in the middle of a snowstorm with all of our luggage for 30 minutes to reach our accommodation. It was not amusing.
We've been walking for almost 25 minutes, and this is not nice.
But luckily we arrived safe and sound and went out to see the amazing ice sculptures that were made as part of the snow festival. So something really unique about Kiruna is that it's home to the world's largest iron ore mine. It's a huge economic driver for the community. And while we were in town, we actually learned that part of the city is being rebuilt away from the original section due to ground deformations caused by the mine. One day, if we return, those buildings and those streets could possibly be gone. But that's, I think, what travel is, I suppose. An incredible opportunity to glimpse a place at a singular moment in time.
After Kiruna, we traveled down to Umeå, and then we went to Copenhagen and Hamburg. On the last day of our trip, we decided to spend the morning at Miniature Wonderland, which is this enormous model railway in Hamburg's historic warehouse district.
Yeah, so this place is really amazing. There's more than 16,000 meters of track, and they're still adding more.
I was wandering around upstairs just completely entranced when all of a sudden I found myself in this snowy area, and I just couldn't believe it when I saw the word Kiruna. It was just one of those really crazy full circle moments that life throws at you.
So if you're in Hamburg, definitely make sure to visit. You can really lose yourself there for hours.
Now we're back in the Netherlands feeling pretty accomplished and with so many stories and videos to share with our community.
We traveled to 6 different destinations and we covered more than 5,000 kilometers by train. In total, we took 14 trains, including 2 night trains.
So I think you could definitely travel there by plane, but you would miss out on a lot on the way. You'd miss out on maybe seeing a reindeer out your train window. You'd miss out on the sight of trees covered in snow rushing by train windows. You just miss that almost slow travel feeling of acclimating to a place and getting to experience it with all of your senses. You miss out on all of that when you just appear in a place.
We met so many wonderful people along the way. They were kind enough to share their stories with us. It's all about these stories, these connections that we make.
It's about inspiring others to embark on their own adventures and to write their own stories.
We had this wild idea to see what the northernmost line in Eurail Pass network was like in the winter.
We truly want to inspire travelers to go one step further and create their own story.
And I would encourage you to just ask yourself, what questions do you have? What stories do you want to experience? And just go for it.
Traveling 10 days with your colleagues can be pretty awesome. That's the most unbelievable part of the whole thing. When you tell people, I spent 10 days nonstop with my colleagues and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They go like, nah.
No, that's what everyone said to me too.